Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Froogley Andy here, and I'm here today bringing you another player review. It's another K-League player which I understand may not be in your best interest, but it's just the latest inform I've bought, so I've decided to do a nice lovely review on him. The man himself is the legendary Lee Dong Gook, who, if you've seen my previous videos, you will already know my feelings on this absolutely wonderful man.
Lee Dong Gook, you score them goalie goals for me all the time. Your name is Lee and you score them goalie goals for me. Oh yeah.
So yeah guys, I was expecting big things from this man, as the 76 version of him is probably one of my favourite strikers on Ultimate Team. So I was just screaming when Lee Dong Gook scored his hat-trick the other week, which resulted in this inform card in fact. Looking at those initial stats, there's two big ones which really stand out to you. That's his decent shooting and that crazy high passing, for a striker anyway. You probably would think he'd make a bit of centre attack and mid with those stats, but I'll come on to that later. But yeah guys, the rest of his stats look a-okay, bit mediocre in places, his nice heading though. Now on to the in-game stats, and all of them look real good. I'm seeing a lot of lovely greens in there, mainly in those shooting and passing stats. A nice amount of those cheeky bright greens too, which we know we just love. A few audacious 99s as well. And a delish 91 shot passes that. Yes, we love that. It's just insane for a striker. Now on to his work rate, skill, whatever you want to call it, and he's not bad. He's 3-star skills, which make what you want of that. You can do his cheeky roulettes, which I just love personally. 4-star weak foot, good. High attack and work rate, whatever, make what you want of that, guys. Now, I know this man isn't the fastest. I'm sure you can see that in his stats, but for most of you, it'll be a serious put off. But personally, I don't struggle that much with his pace, because he's got that 89 strength, which almost compensates for that lack in pace. I'll put the stats in the description as well if you've missed any stats I've just mentioned, because I didn't really mention any. I just was loving all them greens. But yeah guys, stats in the description. Now as always, we've got some lovely goalie goals that good old Lee Dong Gook has scored for me, and I'll be honest, most of the goals are shit. But that brings me on nicely to my first point, which is the point of this man in my team, is to score and create goals, which he does superbly. They might not be the prettiest goals in the world, but he scores and creates goals like better than most players I've used on Ultimate Team. So they may not always be great, but he gets them. Yeah, and since he doesn't really score two nice goals, you can assume his long shot isn't going to be off the scale. Neither is his finesse, but they're alright, they're just standard. But inside the box, this guy is absolutely deadly with either foot and his head. He's just an absolute monster when he gets in that 18-yard box. Another thing is, he's good at them lovely free kicks. I've only had the chance to take a couple with him, but I'll let you know he gets them in rather audaciously. You probably see 1 or 2 clips of that. It's just good. So yeah, for the most part, his all-round shooting is really good. He's a real fox in the box, as I've said, and he's going to get you goals, whether they're from free kicks, headers, or lovely shots. It's just guaranteed, really. Now onto his headering, and I'll be honest, I played a bit sweaty with this guy, just taking advantage of his absolutely superb heading. I know it only says 81 in the stats, but for me, he's just a superstar in the air. He's an absolute monster. I don't know what it is. The ball just seems to rocket off his forehead and into the back of the net more often than not. Another thing is, you've probably noticed about this guy, is his audacious passing, which is just lovely when he's partnered up front with some speedy motherfucker like a Nino, who can just play delightful balls through to wee Nino, who more often than not puts them away rather cheekily. You'll see that in the clips, I'm sure. With him having such high passing stats, for a striker you could argue that he'd be more suited to perhaps a centre forward or centre attacking mid role, which, although I haven't tried him in those positions, I'd probably agree. And that's probably down to his lack of pace, because I think if he's playing a more deeper role, you'll tend to rely on his pace a lot less, and it'll allow you to achieve some sexy link-up plays with him. So if you're someone who can't really bear that them slow players, then don't worry, just play him in a less advanced role. Maybe centre attacker, mid, centre forward, like I've mentioned, and I'm sure you will do just fine. Now his dribbling, which for me can only be described as satisfactory. It's nothing to write home about, but if he's in one of those sticky situations, more often than not, he'll be able to get out of it fairly comfortably. So, to summarise, I love this guy's 76 card, as I'm sure you'll know, and I love this card too. He's just so good inside the box. His passing range is just exquisite. His long shots are okay, nothing off the scale though, as I've mentioned. He's just a monster in the air, and he's just an all-round tank. Okay, his pace isn't great, but in the game he's actually faster than I thought he would be. Also, the fact he's an inform card for just over 10k is really fan-dabby-dozy. Now my final point is, although I know he's a great card, he is a great card, I just felt he wasn't that much of an improvement from the 86 version. So what I'd suggest is that if you don't want to spend the coins on that inform card, just get the 76 version, and if you really like him, then you can always upgrade to this card. It's not going to cost you a lot more coins. So my rating for this guy out of 10 is, well, I initially thought somewhere in between the 8.5 and 9 regions, but then I remembered last time I gave Damjanovic 8.5, which by the way was extremely harsh. He's just such a good player. So I thought I had to be fair, so I judge it the same way I judged Damjanovic. So I might be being a bit harsh here too, but I personally believe Damjanovic was the slightly better player. So as a result, I'm going to give Lee Dong Gook a cheeky 8.4 rating, just slightly worse than Dejan. Also, before I go, I've got one more K-League player to review next time, so apologies for that, but after that I'll be reviewing players you guys actually want to see, so feel free to suggest some players by commenting below, or you could even suggest some on Twitter. Just at FroogleyAndy is my Twitter account, so tweet me on there, I'll probably reply. So yeah guys, as always, you've all been sweeties for listening. Just remember, this is my opinion, so you may not get the same effects, but yeah, been sweeties for listening. Thank you for tuning in. As always, I will see you guys later.